the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2, in conjunction with Colfax High School, presents Viking Pregame. A look at today's Colfax Vikings boys game. And now, Viking Pregame.
Good evening and welcome to the NLWN2 studios. Rick Olson here, and tonight the 4-7 Colfax Vikings, who are 2-2 in the Dunn-St Croix Conference, are returning to conference play as they take on the 5-4 Glenwood City Hilltoppers, who are also 2-2 in the Dunn-St Croix. The Vikings want to get back on their winning ways following their 96-52 non-conference loss to the Regis Ramblers. The Hilltoppers are coming off a 51-42 conference win over the Boyceville Bulldogs back on Friday. Now, coming up in this edition of Viking Pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's matchup between the Glenwood City Hilltoppers and the Colfax Vikings. Then we'll get Coach Height's perspective on today's game in Coach's Corner. Next, we'll take a quick look around the Dunn-St Croix Conference to see where the conference stands. Now, following that, our broadcast crew will bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's conference game between the Glenwood City Hilltoppers and the Colfax Vikings. So it's time to get ready for some exciting high school boys basketball. All that coming up right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on NLWN2.
Be right there. Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame as we're getting ready to bring you all the action of tonight's Dunn-St Croix Conference matchup between the 2-2 Colfax Vikings and the likewise 2-2 Glenwood City Hilltoppers. The Vikings are coming into this game following a 96-52 defeat at the hands of the Regis Ramblers on Monday, while the Hilltoppers picked up a conference win over the Boyceville Bulldogs 51-42 back on Friday. Now, in that loss to the Regis Ramblers, the Vikings found themselves the victims of some deadly shooting from the outside by the Ramblers and just couldn't overcome the deficit. Leading the way for the Vikings in the effort was 6-foot senior Aiden Fisher, who hit on 8 field goals, 2 of which were 3-pointers, as well as going 2 for 3 from the free throw line for 19 points.
Fisher driving the baseline, up and in. First points of the night, Colfax. It's 2-0, 17:25 left first half.
6'5" freshman Russell Pekowski added another 16 points on 5 field goals, including 2 3-pointers, as well as nailing 5 for 6 from the charity stripe.
6 threes for Regis right now.
And a 3 for Colfax to answer. That is Russell Pekowski.
The Glenwood City Hilltoppers come into tonight's game with a record of 5 wins and 4 losses overall, and are 2-2 in the Dunn-St Croix Conference. Now, last season, the Hilltoppers and the Vikings split their 2 meetings, with the Vikings winning the first game 65-50 and the Hilltoppers winning the second 76-54. So far on the season, Glenwood City is being led by 6'7" junior Brady Olson, who's hitting 40% from the floor while averaging nearly 20 points per game. He's being followed by 5'10" senior Tyler Harrington, who's contributing nearly 13 points per game by shooting 42% from the floor, including 40% from three-point range, as well as 67% from the charity stripe. On the boards, Olson and 6'2" junior Brady Thompson are grabbing 9 and 7 rebounds per game respectively. Now, thus far on the season, leading the way for the Vikings is Aiden Fisher, who's averaging nearly 24 points per game. He's followed by Russell Pekowski, who's scoring almost 13 points per game, as well as Orion Nichols, who's adding another 12 points per game. On the boards, Pekowski leads the way, averaging nearly 11 rebounds per game. He's followed by Fisher and Nichols, who are each averaging right around 6 boards per game. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get the coach's perspective as we chat with Viking head coach Nick Height on Coach's Corner. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on NLWN2.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, what they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Joining us today on Coach's Corner is Viking boys head coach Nick Height. And Coach, tonight the Vikings will be getting back into Dunn-St Croix Conference play by taking on the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. But before we get to that game, on Monday, the Vikings had a tough night in a non-conference game against Eau Claire Regis. Your thoughts about that game?
I think they played a pretty perfect first half. If you make 12 threes in a half, and it's going to be tough to beat. So, I think we struggled to guard their guards. Their four guards were pretty quick. And tip your cap, they made shots. I told our guys afterwards, I said, let's just move on from that. Let's get ready for Thursday. Let's forget about that one. And, obviously we're not 40 points. The Regis isn't 40 points better than we are. And, it was their night. So, just kind of put it past us. I think we had a good couple days of practice here to get ready for tonight.
Now, a loss like that can be a learning experience. And one of the problems the Vikings ran into was, as you kind of hinted at, the Ramblers just didn't miss shots. You said 12 three-pointers in the first half. They had 16 on the game, as well as scoring really well on transition plays. When a team is really hot like that, what can the Vikings learn to do to control that kind of shooting?
Sometimes people or teams get hot. It's kind of contagious. I think you see that a lot within basketball. Sometimes the ball drops, sometimes it doesn't. I think you just got to keep continuing to play hard and keep defending. I think we've done a fairly good job in our half court of contesting tough shots for teams. And so I think if we can continue to do that, if they make shots, it is what it is. So I think a big kind of turning point, at least for us in that first half, you give up probably 8 points to end the half within a matter of, probably 10 seconds.
It seemed like it.
Yeah, just not a great way to kind of go into halftime. But, I think at the beginning of the game, I think they were making shots. We got down by 20 pretty early, 20 plus pretty early. I thought we were pretty resilient to bring it back down to, 10 or 12. And then again, came back and hit more shots. So I think we can learn from that. But I've also said if Regis is going to shoot the ball like that, good chance that they're going to be down in Madison come March.
Now, you could tell that the Vikings were missing the ball hawking ability of Theo Hovde on Monday. And from time to time, teams are going to miss a player. What can the other players do to step up and minimize that absence?
I thought we did a pretty good job against their press, especially, Theo's our point guard and things. And we kind of did a point guard by committee. I think for the most part, we handled their pressure pretty well, which was nice to see. I think our offense was probably not as much in flow without Theo. I think Theo does a great job of kind of moving around, setting screens, and obviously entering the ball within our offense. So it puts guys in different positions, which is nice to have with versatility and things. And let's be honest, there's probably going to be a time here coming up where Theo gets in foul trouble, and we're going to have to play without him for, quite a bit of time. So I think it's a good learning experience for us, something that we can grow on. Obviously, you wish the result was a little bit different, but I think that's something that we can grow upon and learn from.
And in a situation like the other night, it's not a true loss if you learn from it and can develop and become a better team.
Right.
Now, tonight, the Vikings are going to take on the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. Now, that's a team the Vikings are currently tied for 4th place with in the DSC. What can you tell us about the Hilltoppers?
They'll have 6'6", 6'7". Brady Olson, probably, one of the better players in our league, who's going to be tough. Kind of a do-it-all guy for them. Everything's going to flow through him. Averages about 20 points a game, 9 rebounds, and about 7 assists. So, again, it's going to be very important to minimize him a little bit. The Harrington kid's been shooting about 40% from 3. And then they have some big guys down low who can rebound. So this is going to be a really important game within the league play. This is going to be important if we want to kind of stay with the top group. We got to come ready to go and focus. We've kind of preached, Coach Kittleson was at Glenwood for a long time, so we've kind of ramped that up for our boys to try to motivate them to finally hopefully have some success tonight.
Now, you've kind of hinted at this already, but a win tonight would help the Vikings stay in the thick of that Dunn-St. Croix Conference race. Talk a little bit about how that race is developing and the Vikings' role in that race.
Yeah, I think if we can take care of business, obviously we're kind of tied for 4th right now. Obviously Spring Valley, Durand, and Elk Mound are tough. But, we also have the opportunity to play Durand twice. I think we've shown that we can play with Elk Mound. And it'll be a little different story with Spring Valley having Logan back the second time that we play. So, I like where we're at. We just need to take care of business as we move forward, take it one game at a time. It's going to be a very important kind of week and a half here with Glenwood City, Mondovi, and Durand. So, to finish up the first round of conference play. I'm excited for tonight. I'm excited for our boys. Hopefully I think we scouted them pretty well. I think we got a pretty solid game plan coming in tonight, but I hope the Bloomer team shows up instead of the Regis team.
And it's in front of some home cooking, so that can't hurt.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, Coach Height, good luck on tonight's game. Hopefully, the Vikings can break that 4th place tie with a win.
Absolutely. Thanks, Rick.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, with a look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
My dad was a farmer. The guy was bigger than life. He wasn't someone that liked to show his emotion or liked to show when he was struggling. But we all struggle. I want to show emotion to my kids. It's something that brings me so much joy. And I want them to see me working through things. Allow your kids to know that it's okay to struggle, that even dad doesn't know the answer sometimes, but we're going to figure it out together.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame. The Dunn-St. Croix Conference returns to conference play tonight with a full slate of games. On Monday and Tuesday of this week, 6 of the 8 conference teams stepped out of conference play. Taking a look at those results, on Monday, we found the Vikings being defeated by the Regis Ramblers 96-52, while the Elk Mound Mounders topped the Fall Creek Crickets 62-54. It was the Mondovi Buffaloes picking up their first win of the season by squeaking by the Chautauqua Weyerhaeuser Bulldogs 49-45, and the Boyceville Bulldogs were bested by the Cadott Hornets 76-49. Meanwhile, the Spring Valley Cardinals took care of the Luck Cardinals 80-32. Then on Tuesday, the McDonald Central Macs met up with the Durand, Arkansas Panthers in Durand, with the Macs coming out on top 50-38. Now heading into tonight's action, the Dunn-St. Croix Conference standings are as follows. Leading the way in the conference are the Spring Valley Cardinals with a 4-0 record. At one game back in second place are the 3-1 Durand, Arkansas Panthers. In third place, 1.5 games back, are the 2-1 Elk Mound Mounders, while fourth place sees a tie between the Vikings and the Glenwood City Hilltoppers, who are each at 2-2 and 2 games off the pace. In sixth place, we find the 1-2 Boyceville Bulldogs, 2.5 games out, and seventh place belongs to the Elmwood Plum City Wolves, who are sitting at 1-3, while eighth place belongs to the 0-4 Mondovi Buffaloes. Tonight's conference play includes the Vikings hosting the Glenwood City Hilltoppers, while the Mondovi Buffaloes and the Boyceville Bulldogs will meet in Mondovi. It'll be the Spring Valley Cardinals traveling to Durand to face the Durand, Arkansas Panthers, while the Elk Mound Mounders journey to Plum City to face the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. Tonight's matchup between the Vikings and the Glenwood City Hilltoppers offers the Vikings an opportunity to bounce back following their loss to Regis on Monday. In addition, the Vikings could keep themselves an active participant in the Dunn-St Croix race with a win tonight. However, it also gives the Hilltoppers that same opportunity to remain relevant. So the stage is set for some exciting high school boys basketball, with the Colfax Vikings facing the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. Now in just a moment, we'll send it out to Colfax High School, where our broadcast crew is ready to bring you all the action of today's boys game. That's all coming up next. You've been tuned to Viking Pregame on NLWN2.
My name's Stacy, I'm 57, and I was adopted in 2020. One teen can come in and make you look at life in a whole different way.
You know, he's my father, so I look up to him a lot. If I can be 10% of the man he is, I'll be a happy person for sure.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
You've been tuned to Viking Pregame with a look at today's Colfax Viking Boys game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2. Stay tuned, coming up next is live Colfax Viking basketball. It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Sladen's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Sladen's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Sladen's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Sladen's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Sladen's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Colfax Viking Boys Basketball is on the air.
Takes it to the top of the key, puts up the shot, he hit it! Fisher hits
The Northern Light Webcasting Network, along with NLWN2, is excited to bring you Colfax High School Boys Basketball.
Around, feeds it underneath Orion Nichols, and he put it up and in.
Yeah, great
Vikings back on top.
Join us as we follow the Vikings while they battle their way through the Dunn-St Croix Conference.
And they get it to Charbonneau, back to Larson. Three-pointer, he hit it! Trey Larson hit the three.
And now out to the gym for today's Colfax Viking basketball.
Good evening and welcome to Colfax, where the Colfax boys basketball team tonight is back in conference play, hosting the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. I'm Jay Fall, here with Rick Olson and Chris Olson, our camera operator. Tonight's Colfax High School basketball game is brought to you by Dairy State Bank, where they're banking on relationships. Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for Western Wisconsin. Anderson Bridges, who have been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. Sladen's Technology, IT provider for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Menominee Eye and Optical, with quality personalized care for you and your family. C&K Construction, concrete experts for the Chippewa Valley. And Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax, comfort food the way Mom used to make it. We hope that you'll thank these fine sponsors soon by doing some business with them. They bring you Colfax Viking basketball here on NLWN2. Both of these teams are tied for fourth place in the Dunn-St Croix Conference, each with 2 wins and 2 losses in the league. The Hilltoppers' record a little bit better than the Vikings. They are 5-4 on the season, while the Vikings are 4-7. And of course, they're coming off a tough night Monday night that they want to put behind them and move on here as they go into conference play.
I expect that to be a big motivating factor for the Vikings tonight. They've got a little something to prove after Monday's efforts that they had, and I expect them to come out and play hard from the get-go tonight and try to show that they're better than what Monday did.
And we will see that shortly here as we're getting ready for the start of tonight's game. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a minute. You're watching Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on NLWN 2.
January is Financial Wellness Month. Weight loss and physical fitness are common New Year's resolutions, but your finances could probably stand to be leaner as well. Dairy State Bank will post tips all month on Facebook and Twitter to help you get your finances in shape. You can also access a library of information anytime in our online education center. Visit DairyStateBank.com and click on the Education Center under the Resources tab. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
In tonight's junior varsity contest, the Colfax Vikings defeated the Glenwood City Hilltopper JVs by a score of 80-41. Let's run down the starting lineups before they do it after the national anthem on the court. Starting tonight for the host Colfax Vikings, 5'6" senior guard, number 2, Theo Hubby. Guard, 6' senior, number 4, Aiden Fisher. 5'11" junior guard, number 10, Orion Nichols. 6'5" freshman forward guard, number 30, Russell Polkowski. And back for his second game after the shoulder injury earlier in the season, 6'6" junior center, number 44, Logan Schwartz. The starters tonight for the Glenwood City Hilltoppers include 5'10" senior guard, number 4, Tyler Harrington. Joining him, 6'7" junior guard, number 5, Brody Olson. Number 22, a 6'2" junior forward, Brady Thompson. 6'2" junior center, number 23, Ben Klatt. And rounding out the Toppers starters, 5'10" junior forward, number 24, Brody Reba. The Hilltoppers are coached by Patrick Olson, and Nick Height, of course, leads the Colfax Vikings. So we are about to send it down to the court for the playing of the national anthem, introduction of starters.
Would everyone please stand if able? Remove your hats and place your hand over your heart to honor the flag, as the national anthem is sung by Colfax High School senior Lydia Polkowski.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the
That was Lydia
Welcome to
Mikowski
Colfax
with the
High School
national
for
anthem.
tonight's Dunn-St. Croix Boys Basketball matchup between the Glenwood City Hilltoppers and your Colfax Vikings. Introducing the starters for the Hilltoppers. Number 4, senior Tyler Harrington. Number 5, junior Brody Olson. Number 22, junior Brady Thompson. Number 23, junior Ben Platt. And number 24, junior Brody Reba. The Hilltoppers are led by head coach Patrick Olson. And now, the starting lineup for your Colfax Vikings. Back guard, 5'6", senior number 2, Theo Updee. Back guard, 6', senior number 4, Aiden Fisher. Back guard, 5'11", junior number 10, Orion Nichols. Back forward, 6'5", freshman number 30, Russell Colfax. And at forward, 6'6", senior number 44, Logan Schwartz. The Vikings are led by head coach Nick Knight. Tonight, Colfax High School senior Brett Tuemsch would like to remind coaches, players, and fans what it means to be a good sport.
At Colfax High School, sportsmanship is an expectation, so please let the players play, let the coaches coach, let the officials officiate, and let the spectators be positive. Thank you, fans, players, and coaches for letting your sportsmanship show. Have fun watching us play.
Fans, don't forget to join us at halftime as we will recognize our local businesses. Please enjoy.
So the Glenwood City Hilltoppers are in blue with red, white, and blue numerals and trim. Colfax home white. Tip is tipped to Hovde. Colfax starting out with things, going out on top. Wilkowski back over to Hovde. Driving in, Fisher, layup, good. 2-0 Colfax out in front of Glenwood City. Hilltoppers bringing up the floor now. It's Brody Olson. Olson drives in the center, being guarded by Hovde, staying right with him, goes up, shot missed, reload. That one blocked by Russ Polkowski. But the Hilltoppers hang on to it. Brody Reba has it out on the far side. Back to Brody Olson, to Harrington. Scoop pass to Reba. He'll send a one-handed pass over to Thompson down underneath. And unfortunately, Theo Hovde couldn't get there to save it from going out of bounds. So the Hilltoppers are going to keep it. About a minute gone here in the first half. Brody Olson gets the inbounds pass. Dribbling along the lane. No one to go to. Makes a pass to Tyler Harrington. Gets by him, and it's going to be over and back. So the Vikings will have it on their side of the timeline. Back to Hovde with that timeline erased. Fisher down inside to Polkowski. Up from the baseline, miss. Trying to get to it as Schwartz. Ball is taken by Harrington of the Toppers. Olson driving the right side. Goes up. Blocked by Polkowski. But they're going to say he fouled in that. That is his first and Colfax's first foul. That's going to send Brody Olson to the line for 2 free throws.
Vikings in a real tight man-to-man defense.
Colfax lead cut in half. It's now 2-1 Vikings. 16:33 left first period, first half. And we're tied at 2.
Vikings never inbounded the
No.
ball.
I thought, huh? So they're going to give him the chance to do that. Inbounds to Hovde, to Polkowski. Polkowski can't get a pass over to Schwartz. Brody Reba got in between it. Now Olson's going to bring it up the floor for the Toppers. Reba on the right wing high. In the middle to Thompson. Brody Olson in the corner, flips it back to Tyler Harrington. In the middle to Rebo, over on the left wing to Thompson. Thompson dribbles it a little bit, sends it back to Klatt. Klatt driving on Polkowski and Schwartz, and he traveled on his way in. Turnover to the Vikings, tied at 2, 15-51 left first half. Throw in goes to Hovde, back to Nichols. Nichols out to Hovde, back in the middle to Fisher, down to Polkowski, driving in from the far corner, off the glass, no, ball's tipped, and it was tipped by the Hilltoppers. I think that went off Brady Thompson, or Ben Klatt, sorry. Tied at 2. Nichols in the corner to Hovde. Back to Schwartz. To Nichols. 3-point shot missed. Ball tipped to Brody Olson. Quickly up the floor it went to Brady Thompson. He loses it, courtesy of Nichols. Now down to Schwartz in the corner. Out to Fisher. Fisher drives up and is fouled on the way in. That foul is going to be called on the Hilltoppers, number 22, Brady Thompson, and that is the first foul for him as well as the Hilltoppers. Hayden Fisher going to shoot 2 free throws. First one up, no good off the front iron. Going to send the second one up. That one goes in. 3-2 Vikings, approaching 15 minutes left in the first half. Brody Olson being pestered. Theo Hovde in there trying to get the ball. He hands it off to Brady Thompson to Klatt. Back out to Reba. They keep it over on the far side, as Colfax has the middle bottled up pretty good. Brody Olson up high, top of the key, dumps it off to Thompson. Thompson goes up from 8 over the rim, and it goes right into the hands of Orion Nichols. Hovde's going to bring it up the floor. He hands it off to Nichols. Nichols goes up off the glass. Good! 5-2 Colfax. 14:20 remaining first half. Brody Olson bringing the ball up for the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. Out to Brady Thompson. Brody Reba. Reba from Harrington. Back in the middle to Olson. Olson with a handoff to Reba. Down on the left side, left open, Brody Olson. Three-pointer goes over the rim. And out of bounds. Glenwood City is going to keep it.
Yeah, they're going to say that it came off of Nichols.
In the corner it goes to Thompson. From the free throw line, Klatt for 2. Colfax 5, Glenwood City 4, 13:40 left. First half, bounce pass back to Aiden Fisher. Down in the corner, Russ Polkowski, 3!
This is why the 6'5" player is listed as both a forward and a guard, because he can pop that three-pointer.
Driving in, Olson, shot blocked. And they're going to get Polkowski for another foul. That's his second, as well as Colfax's second here of the first half. Brody Olson on the free throw line for 2. First one good. Colfax 8, Glenwood City 5. Jay Fall, Rick Olson, Chris Olson with you from Colfax High School, Dunn-St. Croix. Boys basketball action. Brody Olson, second one, good. And it is a 2-point ball game, and we have a full timeout. 13:17 to go first half. Colfax 8, Glenwood City 6. You're watching Viking Boys Basketball on NLWN 2.
To get your lawn or garden to perform at attracting what you want, you first need to know what your soil is working with. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, serving western Wisconsin.
Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings.
Nichols to throw it in from the baseline. Gets it into Hovde. Breaks the press across the timeline out to Charlie Charbonneau now in the ball game. Aiden Fisher takes it in the far corner. Out at the top of the key, Nichols. Nichols drives in, goes up on the left side. Good. 10-6. Colfax leading Glenwood City inside 13 minutes left, first half. Brody Olson down along the far sideline. It's out to Brady Thompson. Into Klatt. Klatt goes up, misses, and it's rebounded by Schwartz. He'll flip it to Hovde. Hovde up the floor. He'll flip it to Nichols. Nichols gets it back. Goes into Charbonneau. Back in the corner to Hovde. Up to Fisher. Fisher driving in. Pops it up from 10. Rolls out. No good. And Schwartz can't get in there to knock it away. It's rebounded by the Hilltoppers' Brody Olson. Olson making a move on Theo Hovde. And Hovde called for a foul reaching in. So that is...
His arm took the long route in, and he got a little bit of him coming in.
On the baseline, Reba's going to throw it in. 10-6 Colfax. Reba gets it into Thompson. Back out between the circles to Caleb Klinger now in the ball game. Down in the corner. Thompson. Other side to Klinger, and he was on the sideline going back to Colfax.
That's the NFL rule, isn't it? You got to get both feet down inbound.
That's right. Nichols tosses it into Fisher, back to Nichols. Right in front of the Colfax bench. One-handed pass down in there to Charbonneau. Charbonneau dishes to Schwartz. He's going on the baseline into Hovde. Out on the top of the key. Nichols looks at one, trying to drive in. One of the toppers ends up on the floor. Fisher with the ball. And Fisher is fouled. He's blocked by Tyler Harrington.
That was a pretty good collision down there. Fisher went up in the air and Harrington stepped into it, and they both ended up tumbling to the floor.
Nichols in the corner to Fisher. Outside the arc, Charbonneau now coming to get it. Nichols, and three-point shot. Fisher bounces off the back of the rim, no good. Olson quickly up the floor for the Hilltoppers, driving on Hovde, takes a shot from 8, missed. Tipped by Nichols, but rebounded by Thompson. And that one went out of bounds off Charbonneau. So Glenwood City's going to hang on to it.
Vikings putting a lot of hands in the way of the things the Hilltoppers are trying to do.
Rebound to Klinger. Klinger, top of the key, in and out, doesn't go, but the rebound tipped back to Reba. He reloads for the Hilltoppers. That's his first points of the night. Inside 11 minutes to go. Vikings with the ball. Nichols drives the right side of the lane up on top to Hovde, out to Fisher. Looks at one from 3, loses the ball, and he's going to draw another foul. That one is going to be called on Brady Thompson of the Hilltoppers. That is his second and the third foul of the first half for the Hilltoppers. Nichols. High pass out to Aiden Fisher. Fisher's going to drive in, flip it outside the arch to Charbonneau. Charbonneau is going to go in off the glass and good. Colfax 12, Glenwood City 8. Approaching 10.5 minutes left first half. Driving in Brody Olson. Puts it up. Short of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Aiden Fisher. Hovde with the ball. Out to Orion Nichols. Nichols, big shot, miss. Up the floor to Brody Reba. Colfax gets down there quickly. Caleb Klinger gets the ball out at the top of the key. Thompson to Reba. Back to Olson. Glenwood City trying to switch things up on the baseline. Klinger. Out to Reba. Reba to Klatt. Klatt with a 10-footer is good. Colfax 12, Glenwood City 10, 9:35 left. First half. Driving in Charlie Charbonneau. Out to Nichols, back to Charbonneau. He'll wait, make a pass over to Schwartz. Schwartz puts it up. His shot bounces out, and it's rebounded by Ben Klatt. Brody Olson, the main ball handler. Theo Hovde of Colfax comes out to meet him, out to Brady Thompson. Top of the key, Caleb Klinger, three-pointer miss. Nice rebound by Ryan Nichols. He'll take it down the near side. Has the ball tapped as he's going in, and Hovde's going to try for a layup and makes it on the right side. Theo Hovde's first points of the night, 14-10 Vikings.
Theo Hovde once again challenging the land of the Giants.
Olson across the Viking on the far side. Give and go to Reba. Back out to Olson. Olson for three. Front iron, no good. Rebounded by Brady Thompson. He puts it back up and in. 2-point ball game. Colfax with the advantage. Now Fisher up the floor quickly to Schwartz. Layup missed left side. Olson down to Thompson. Thompson stops, puts it up and in. We're tied at 14. And we have a timeout called by Glenwood City. 8:11 to go, first half, 14 all. You're watching Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on NLWN 2.
NLWN 2 is once again excited to be your host for Colfax High School Boys Basketball throughout the 2024 through 2025 season.
This is what we came here for.
Our next game will be on Tuesday, January 21st, when the Vikings play host to the Mondovi Buffaloes. Coverage begins with Viking pregame at 6:40 p.m. with live play-by-play to follow. That's live Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on Tuesday, January 21st on NLWN 2.
Tomorrow marks the end of the second quarter and first semester of the school year at Colfax School. School will be dismissed at 12:30, and there'll be no junior kindergarten either morning or afternoon tomorrow, halfway through the school year. Colfax will start with the ball coming off the timeout. Theo Hovde will dribble it out of the backcourt from Orion Nichols. They double up on him. Ball stolen by Ben Klatt. Klatt fires down to Tyler Harrington. He puts in the layup, and the Hilltoppers take their first lead, 16-14. 7:50 to go. Down in the corner, Charlie Charbonneau. Three-pointer bangs around, missed. Aiden Fisher reload, good. We're tied at 16. And a foul is going to be called on Theo Hovde. His second of the game. That's 4 fouls in the first half here for the Vikings. So Tyler Harrington, 4 for the Glenwood City Hilltoppers, throws it in. Brody Olson's going to direct traffic. Brody Reba between the circles. Fires off to Olson, back over to Reba, and a shot in on the left side. bounces around or rolls around the rim.
And they're going to call goaltending on that.
And Colfax gets the ball. Up the floor to Charbonneau. Charbonneau drives in. Layup is good. Colfax back in the lead. 18-16 over Glenwood City as we approach 7 minutes remaining in the first half. Hunter Roberts, our Viking profile player at halftime. Top of the key for 2. He was inside the arch. Brody Reba. Tied at 18. Nichols back up to Hovde. Hovde down the floor to Polkowski from the corner. 3! 21-18 Colfax.
That's 2 3-pointers for Polkowski.
6.5 minutes left first half. Brody Olson has the ball stolen away by Aiden Fisher. Fisher driving, waits, reverse layup, good. 23-18 Vikings. 7 points for Aiden Fisher. Brody Olson out of the backcourt. Down in the near corner, Caleb Klinger, 3-pointer, no good. Rebounded by Nichols. Up to Hovde. Vikings will set it up again. 6 minutes left, first half. A 3-point shot. Fisher rolls around out. Rebounded. Polkowski waiting for the opportunity. Goes up. That one short. Rebounded by Brody Olson. Olson in the corner to Reba. Back to Olson. Tipping the ball into the backcourt. He can pick it up, and he does. Brody Olson driving in now. One-handed bounce pass to Reba, back to Olson. Harassing him is Nichols, and that goes out of bounds off Olson. Colfax ball. 5:17 left first half. Colfax 23, Glenwood City 18.
Hilltopper head coach Patrick Olson didn't like the harassment that was being put on by the Vikings. Had some words for the officials.
Polkowski into Nichols. Nichols goes up, in. Nice jumper down below on the right side. Inside 4 minutes, Colfax up by 7. Reba over to Thompson. Back to Reba in the corner. 3-pointer rolls around out. Fisher there to get the rebound for the Vikings. Fisher to Hovde. Hovde will fire it off to Nichols. Nichols caught in between 2 bigger guys, having trouble handling the ball, and Fisher goes back to get it in the backcourt. Across the timeline, Hovde. Fisher driving in is going to make the basket. So Aiden Fisher, 2 more points. And that foul is charged to Tyler Harrington. That is his second. That is the 4th foul for Glenwood City this half. Each team has 4 fouls here in the first half. Tomorrow night, Colfax Viking girls host the Durand, Arkansas Panthers in a Dunn-St. Croix game. And the 3-point play completed with a good free throw. Coverage on NLWN TV starts at 6:40 with Viking pregame. Game action follows. Brady Thompson out to Klinger. Klinger driving up. Missed, rebounded by Hovde.
Vikings are really doing a good job of controlling that defensive board.
Shot missed. Glenwood City's going to bring it back up. Tyler Harrington got some extra floor there, apparently.
He took a giant step, let's just say
That's
that way.
And all of the fans right there were, whoa! Assistant referees, and that is going to be a timeout for Glenwood City. 3:29 to go, first half. Colfax 28, Glenwood City 18. You're watching Viking Boys Basketball on NLWN 2.
NLWN-TV is once again excited to be your host for Colfax High School girls basketball throughout the 2024 through 2025 season. Our next girls Vikings game will be on Friday, January 17th, when the Vikings take on the Durand, Arkansas Panthers from Colfax High School. Coverage begins with Viking pregame at 6:40 p.m. with live play-by-play to follow. That's live Colfax Viking girls basketball on Friday, January 17th on NLWN TV.
Even though it's winter, baseball is just around the corner. And the Northern Light Webcasting Network is excited to bring you Colfax High School baseball, followed by Eau Claire Cavalier baseball. So stick with us all spring and summer long for America's game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Boys are back in action Tuesday night. They'll host the Mondovi Buffaloes here at Colfax in a conference game. Coverage starts here on NLWN2 with Viking pregame at 6:40, followed by live play-by-play. 3:29 left first half.
Seeing that ad about Cavalier baseball that we'll cover this summer, and that shot, of course, was from Carson Park. Can't help but think about the passing of Bob Euchre today, who played 2 seasons at Carson Park.
R.I.P. Euchre. Driving in, Fisher too hard, rebounded by Brody Olson. Olson brings it up the floor, drives in, goes up, and he caught a foul in there. That one is going to go against Aiden Fisher. That's his first. The 5th foul for the Vikings here in the first half. First free throw is good. The Bloomer Colfax wrestling team travels to Ladysmith on Saturday. Action begins at 9:30. The Colfax Youth Wrestling Tournament will be here at Colfax High Saturday. Weigh-ins from 8 to 9. Second free throw goes in as well.
Olson's now 6 for 6 from the line.
6 points for him, 28-20. Colfax with the lead. Fisher, 3. Rolls off the left side of the rim. Brody Olson up the floor for the Hilltoppers. Brody Reba driving in. And we are going to have a foul charged to Aiden Fisher. That's his second and the 6th foul for the Vikings. So the Hilltoppers go into the 1+1 bonus on the next Colfax foul. Brady Thompson into Brody Olson, fires inside to Reba, misses the shot. Aiden Fisher comes up with the rebound, gets it to Hovde. Hovde to Fisher, down in the far corner, Charbonneau called for traveling.
Little extra step along the baseline there by Charlie.
2:21 left first half, Colfax 28, Glenwood City 20. Trey Larson coming into the game now for Charlie Charbonneau. Brody Olson will bring the ball up. Caleb Klinger out to Harrington, left side, back to Klinger on the right side of the lane. Push it back to Reba. Reba 10-footer missed. Goes right into the hands of Aiden Fisher. Then to Hovde up the floor to Nichols. Nichols waits, goes up and in. 10-point Colfax lead. 8 points for Ryan Nichols. It's 30-20. Colfax over Glenwood City. Minute 40 left first half. Brody Olson, 6'7", is the guard for the Hilltoppers. Ball tapped, but it gets to Brady Thompson. Harrington in the corner. And he got too close to the sideline. In fact, he was on the sideline, so Colfax gets it back.
Yeah, he went beyond too close.
Yeah. Ben Klatt coming in now. Theo Hovde out of the backcourt for the host Vikings. Out to Trey Larson. Back to Fisher. Schwartz pulls up, 7-footer, missed. And it's rebounded by Tyler Harrington. Olson will start it up for the Toppers. Back up to Harrington. Harrington to Reba to Thompson. Thompson goes up.
Looks like it's going to be on Trey Larson.
Yeah. And that is the 7th foul of the half. That is Trey's first foul, and that will send Brady Thompson to the free throw line for 1+1. Colfax leading by 10.
Actually, they gave him a shooting foul.
Oh, they did, yep. .4 seconds left first half. Hunter Roberts will be our featured profile guest on Viking Halftime coming up here shortly. That one doesn't go either.
We're going to get a lane violation on Ryan Nichols. He was leaning and got a little too far and had to take that step into the lane.
So here's the third attempt for Thompson. That one goes in. So Nichols to Hovde. Pass too hot for Charbonneau to handle. Brody Olson comes up with it. And we're going to have a player control foul on Brody Olson as Theo Hovde went flying across the floor. No need to mop that part of the floor. His back took care of it. Brady Thompson out to Harrington. Over on the right side, Klatt. Half a minute left. Klatt up with Schwartz in his face, but that ball will go back to Colfax. 25.5 seconds to go, first half, 30-21, Colfax leading Glenwood City.
Aiden Fisher back in for the Vikings.
Alley-oop into Fisher with Toppers all over him. Nichols will bring it across the timeline. Hovde down into Schwartz, loses the ball, gets it back, bounces it back to Theo Hovde. Inside to Nichols. Nichols goes up, fouled. He's going to get 2 free throws. That foul will be on Glenwood City's Ben Klatt, his first, and that is the 6th foul for Glenwood City. 2 free throws, first one good for Orion Nichols. 9 points for him so far. That one missed, rebounded by Schwartz. Schwartz trying to go up, ball batted away, and shot up by Thompson over the top of the backboard. And we're at halftime. Colfax 31, Glenwood City 21. We invite you now to stay tuned for Viking Halftime. It's coming your way next. You're watching Viking Boys Basketball on NLWN 2.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Time now for Viking Halftime, with today's Viking profile and other halftime entertainment. That's coming up right after this.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Today on Viking Profile, we're talking with Hunter Roberts, who's a senior here at Colfax High School. And Hunter, we know that you play basketball, but are there any other activities you've been involved with here at school?
Played football this year.
How'd that go for you?
Went all right.
Okay. Now, when did you start playing basketball, and what kind of an experience has that been?
3rd grade, and it's been a good experience.
Okay, and what's the most important thing that you've learned playing basketball?
Hard work. Be dedicated.
Put that work in, you keep the discipline up, and the good things will happen.
Yep.
Okay. So when you're not playing basketball or you're not here at school, what are some other things that keep you interested or occupied?
Show pigs in the summer.
Okay. And that's not just hauling your pig in and showing it. There's a lot of work involved in that, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
All right, rapid fire questions. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Ice cream.
Which kind?
Cookies and cream.
Okay, see, you get the cookies in that and the whole bit. Burger, brat, or hot dog?
Burger.
And what do you want on that burger?
Everything.
Put everything on it. Just load that thing up.
Yep.
Okay. Your favorite color and why?
Blue, and I don't know, it's just good color.
All right, that works. If you could have a superpower, what do you think that might be and why?
Probably super strength.
Okay, now if you were super strong, you of course have to have a superhero name to go with it. So what's Hunter's superhero name?
Big Hunter.
The Big Hunter. Okay. Favorite NBA team?
The Bucks.
And collegiate team?
Wisconsin.
All right. Now, if you could pick the brain of a sports personality, somebody from any time in history, from any sport, who might that be and why?
I don't know. That's a tough one. Probably go Michael Jordan.
That's a pretty good choice. I mean, when you think about everything he accomplished.
Yep.
Okay. We're talking with Hunter Roberts today on Viking Profile. And Hunter, what are your plans for after high school?
I don't know yet. Hopefully go to school somewhere.
Okay. Do you have any idea what you want to go into?
I don't.
Okay. You still have some time to figure that out. How about a shout out to the family?
Shout out my mom and dad, my grandpa Terry.
Okay. And when people come to watch Viking games, where should they look for you on the floor?
Usually on the wing.
Okay. All right. We want to thank Hunter Roberts for joining us today on Viking Profile. Coming up next, more Viking Halftime.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
You've been tuned to Viking Halftime. Stay tuned. Coming up is second half action of today's game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2.
Elmo's daddy taught him that when he has a big feeling like being frustrated, humming a song can help you feel better. We all have big feelings, and we are all here for one another. Love your mind.
Welcome back to Colfax High School. Colfax 31, Glenwood City 21 in high school boys basketball. Rick, what do the numbers look like so far?
Well, they look like this. Leading the way for the Vikings is Aiden Fisher. He's put up 4 field goals and went 2 for 3 from the free throw line for 10 points. Ryan Nichols is right behind with 4 field goals and 1 for 2 from the line for 9 points. Russell Pekowski has a pair of 3-pointers for 6 points. They're followed by Charlie Charbonneau with a pair of field goals for 4, and Theo Hovde has a field goal for 2. For the Glenwood City Hilltoppers, they're being led by Brody Olson, who's 6 for 6 from the free throw line for 6 points. Brady Thompson is 2 field goals and 1 for 2 from the line for 5. Ben Klatt has 2 field goals, as does Brody Reba. They each have 4 points, and Tyler Harrington has a field goal for 2 points. So that's 31-21, Vikings on top.
The JV Vikings won earlier, the game before this one. They won 80-41. Both these teams tied with 2-2 conference records in the Dunn-St. Croix. They are tied for 4th place. That tie will be broken tonight. And we invite you to join us tomorrow night. We'll have Colfax Viking girls basketball on NLWN TV. Lady Vikings will be hosting the Durand, Arkansas Panthers. Coverage begins on NLWN TV with Viking pregame at 6:40. Followed by live play-by-play. Rick will have the call on that one.
That is a very big game on the girls' side of the Dunn-St. Croix Conference. Both teams want to get into that second place spot and chase down the Elk Mound Mounders. And the Mounders don't look like they want to fall back at all, so you got to keep winning to keep pace.
Toppers start with the ball. Pass goes in to Brody Olson. Olson up from 5, good.
That's his first field goal of the night.
31-23. Hovde across the center jump circle, fires to Polkowski, down to Fisher. Fisher back to Hovde. Over to Nichols. Polkowski, 3-pointer, bounces off, no good, rebounded by Klatt. He'll give it to Olson to set things up for the Hilltoppers. Give and go to Reba. Moves around the rainbow, gives it to Harrington, now fired back inside to Reba, outside to Thompson. Thompson goes up, layup is good. And the Hilltoppers start out with 4 unanswered points. Polkowski out to Fisher. Fisher, 3-pointer missed. Ball bounces out. It's going to Glenwood City.
Vikings have a little bit of a change in their lineup to start the second half. It's not the same as their starting lineup. Charlie Charbonneau is out there in place of Logan Schwartz.
Brody Reba over to Brody Olson. He'll fling it back to Harrington. Harrington being guarded by Hovde. Harrington goes up, shot pounded back by Polkowski. And Olson goes up, brings it in from the corner, 31-27. Colfax still leads, but it's a 6-0 run so far for Glenwood City. Polkowski to Fisher. Fisher goes up. That falls short. Rebounded by Reba. Olson bringing it out of the backcourt. Olson driving the baseline. Flips it back to Klatt. Klatt goes up. Shot missed. Polkowski touches it, but it ends up in the hands of Charlie Charbonneau. Now quick back up to Russ Polkowski. Nichols fires off to Hovde. Polkowski, three-pointer, good! 34-27, Colfax lead is 7. Olson up the floor, a little bit of pressure from Colfax. Olson drives the right side, looking. Goes out on top to Reba. Reba out to Olson. Dishes it down on the baseline to Klatt. Right side layup is good. 34-29, Colfax leads. 15 minutes left in the second half. Fisher took a step before he went in. Harrington throws it into Olson. Olson, corner of the lane, up, bounces out big, right into the hands of Reba. He fires it over to Klatt. Ball stolen away by Nichols. Hovde scoop pass out to Polkowski, fall away jumper. He's going to get 2 free throws as he was fouled on the way in by number 5, Brody Olson. That's his second of the game. That's the first foul of the second half for anybody. And Russell Polkowski to shoot 2. First one up, in. Girls basketball tomorrow night on NLWN TV. They host Durand, Arkansas here. Coverage starts with Viking pregame at 6:40. That one missed. Schwartz trying to get the rebound, and he draws another foul with that. Well, his first foul, as well as the first for the second half. Reba fires it out to Harrington. Harrington fires it into Olson, goes up on against 3 Vikings and gets fouled. That one is going to be charged to Orion Nichols. So that puts Brody Olson on the free throw line. First free throw good. $11 points for him so far. Second one rolls off the front rim, off the backboard, and then in.
He's 8 for 8 from the line.
35-31 the score. Colfax leading Glenwood City by 4. Ball goes out of bounds big. It was tipped by Glenwood City, so Colfax will keep it.
Olson only a 70% shooter, but he's 100% tonight.
Nichols, far corner, or Fisher, I should say, into Schwartz, missed. Reload, Hovde, that one doesn't go. Tries to get the rebound and can't. So Glenwood City brings it back up, trailing just by 4 now. Harrington to Thompson. Back to Harrington, and the pass intercepted by Theo Hovde. Hovde up the floor for the Vikings into Schwartz. Schwartz will bounce it over to Polkowski. Polkowski going up, trying to make a shot. It's blocked. Ends up in Brody Reba's hands.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he was going up for a shot or he was going up to make a pass, but Glenwood City got a hand on the ball, and he couldn't do anything with it.
Yep. Tyler Harrington driving up. Shot blocked by Polkowski, and we are going to have a jump ball between Logan Schwartz and Brady Thompson. Arrow is pointing toward Colfax. Vikings will get the ball on that one. 12:54 left, second half. Colfax 35, Glenwood City 31.
Russ Polkowski with 3 block shots so far tonight. He did have a couple others, but they were canceled by fouls.
Fisher driving in short. Colfax, tough shooting here as we start the second half. Reba over to Klinger. Brady Thompson up at the top of the key, fires opposite corner to Clayton Hoffman now in the ball game. Back out to Brody Olson. Olson for 3, swishes it. Colfax lead has been cut to 1, 35-34 as we approach 12 minutes left. And we're going to have a timeout called by Nick Height and the Colfax Vikings. 12:08 left, second half. Vikings lead by 1. You're watching Colfax Boys Basketball on NLWN 2.
C&K Construction is your source for high-quality concrete and construction work in the Chippewa Valley. Established in 2014, C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls is a leading concrete contractor proud to serve Eau Claire, Altoona, Menominee, and surrounding areas. Specializing in concrete construction, excavating, flatwork poured walls, and much more, they're right for all of your concrete needs. Call C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls at 715-559-1335.
Tomorrow marks the end of the second quarter and first semester of the school year for Colfax School. School will be dismissed at 12:30, and there is no junior kindergarten either in the morning or afternoon. Hovde with the ball for the Vikings. Fires it out to Fisher. Fisher into Polkowski, off the glass and in. And he's fouled. That's going to be the third foul on number 5, Brody Olson. So Russell Polkowski will get 1 free throw. And makes that. Colfax by 4, 38-34 over the Glenwood City Hilltoppers inside 12 minutes left. Brody Olson outside the rainbow, on it, misses the shot, knocked out of bounds off Polkowski. So Brody Reba is going to throw it in. Reba gets it in the corner to Thompson. And it ends up out on top to Klinger. Klinger to Thompson. Reba dribbles it out of the top of the key. Olson puts it up. Shot is short. And Russ Polkowski steals that rebound away. And now stealing the ball back, Brady Thompson going up and stuffs it. 38-36, and the Hilltoppers on their feet. And they close the gap to 2. Over on the near side, it's Trey Larson. Larson into number 10, Orion Nichols. Nichols is going to be called for an offensive foul. That's Orion's second foul, and it's the third of the second half for Colfax. Over to Reba. Reba takes it nice and easy across the timeline, gets it back to Olson. To Thompson. over on the far side. He'll drive in, stop at the free throw line. And we're going to have a foul away from the ball on offensive foul. That's going to be charged to Caleb Klinger.
Now, some people might say that might have been a makeup call, but we would never claim anything like that.
No. Well, now we have a carrying violation on the Vikings. So Glenwood City gets it back. 38-36. Colfax leading Glenwood City by 2. 10.5 minutes to go. Second half. Olsen stolen away by Fisher. Fisher going up. Layup is good. 40-36 Vikings. Brody Olsen outside on the far side. Gets it to Clayton Hoffman. To Klinger. Thompson. Around the arch goes to Reba. Back to Thompson in the corner. He's going to drive in Polkowski. Polkowski puts a paw up, blocks the shot, and we've got a jump ball, I think, on the floor, and that is going to go to Glenwood City.
That's block number 4 for Russ Polkowski.
9:46 remaining. Second half, it's Colfax 40, Glenwood City 36. Inbounds throw goes into Thompson. Back to Reba, far corner. He's being guarded by Fisher. Drives in, dumps it off to Klatt. Klatt to Thompson. Thompson trying to get it inside to Olsen. Hubby steals it away. We're going to have a jump ball. That one's going to... Yeah, didn't move the possession arrow. Colfax has it. Officials had that one correct.
Arrow
yeah.
At the scorer's table was dark.
Yeah. And 3 for Aiden Fisher.
I think he shot that one from Augusta.
Pretty close. Across the timeline. Reba fires it out to Olsen. Olsen dumps it back to Harrington. Harrington up for 3. 43-39. Colfax out in front of Glenwood City. 8:45 remaining. Second half. Theo Hubby. Out to Charbonneau. Layup is good. 45-39. Vikings. Olsen with the ball. Hubby guarding him. Klatt having Nichols slap the ball away, and a shot by Reba missed. But the rebound is going to be called on, or the foul is going to be called on Aiden Fisher. Came around from behind to bat that one away, and officials didn't like that. Third foul of his tonight. 4 for Colfax here in the second half.
Fisher had that look on his face like, well, you got to try.
Well, yeah. Near side, Reba. Out to an open Hoffman. Back to Reba. Back out to Thompson. Olsen fires it down to Thompson. Out to Hoffman, and they're going to keep it high up on the right side. Harrington being guarded by Charbonneau. Now Olsen gets it back, goes up on the baseline, and is fouled on the way in by Theo Hubdy. That's his third foul. 5 fouls on Colfax as a team here in the half. Brody Olsen's going to shoot 2. First one is good. Bloomer Colfax wrestling team travels to Ladysmith Saturday. Action begins at 9:30. Colfax Youth Wrestling Tournament here at Colfax Saturday. Weigh-ins from 8 to 9. Second free throw good as well. 17 points for Brody Olson.
And 10 of those have come from the charity stripe.
Hovde across the center jump circle to Nichols, back to Hovde. Hovde flips it over to Nichols. Nichols bumped around. And Colfax, no wait, they are going to call a foul. That foul is on number 3, Clayton Hoffman. That's his first. And the Hilltoppers' 4th.
Yeah, I thought that the Vikings were going to try and call a timeout, but evidently the foul happened first.
Yeah. Nichols into Hovde. To Charbonneau, going up, too far under, rebounded by Glenwood City's Brody Reba. Up the floor, Thompson's open, layup missed, rebounded by Nichols. Colfax 45, Glenwood City 41. Wilkowski into Fisher. Fisher layup is good for 2. Colfax leading by 6 as we approach 6.5 minutes remaining.
That's the patented Aiden Fisher shake and bake move right down through the toaster.
Harrington up, misses everything but the rebound by Thompson. Reload at the free throw line by Tyler Harrington is good. Colfax leads by 4 over Glenwood City. Hovde out to Volkowski, and a three-pointer good for Charlie Charbonneau. 6 minutes left in the second half. 9 points tonight for Charbonneau. Harrington up high, far side, goes around a screen, hands it off to Brody Olson. Olson up from 3, around the rim, out, no good. Polkowski and Fisher fighting for it. It is going back to Colfax.
They were battling up in the stratosphere for that one.
Hovde crosses the Sia, the center of the gym floor. 5.5 minutes left. Aiden Fisher, three-pointer, good! Colfax back up by 10, 53-43.
It's 20 for Fisher.
Olson up high. Olson to Harrington. And Harrington is fouled by Aiden Fisher, who had a... Now, really?
I can't believe you saw that look.
That's Fisher's 4th foul. Aiden Fisher has 20 points so far, and he's going to come out for a bit. Trey Larson's going to come in for him. 5:05 left in the second half. And inbounds throw goes right into Brady Thompson, who puts in a little jumper on the left side. 53-45.
It's 11 for Thompson.
Hovde to Larson, out to Polkowski, has it tapped away. Olson down the floor. Now returning the favor is Nichols. Glenwood City's going to get it out high. 3-point shot, Harrington. Colfax's lead cut to 5, 43 or 53-48.
That's 10 points for Harrington.
Trey Larson into Ryan Nichols. Stolen back by Glenwood City. Out to Brody Reba. Into Schwartz, out to Tyler Harrington. Outside the arch, he's going to put it up again from three-point land, missed. And They're going to try to, and Colfax ends up with that. Kind of a battle of who is going to roll it off who. And it ended up back in the hands of the Vikings. And we have a full timeout called by Colfax. 3:53 left second half. Colfax 53, Glenwood City 48. You're watching Viking Boys Basketball on NLWN 2.
Menominee Eye and Optical can help you see the world for the beautiful place it is. Doctors Nicholas and Marianne Comro provide comprehensive and emergency eye care for all, including pediatric and special needs patients. Whether it's examination for glasses to cataract or LASIK care, or diagnosis and management of macular degeneration, and so much more. In addition, Menominee Eye and Optical's experienced opticians will help guide you to the highest quality eyewear for the best value. That's Menominee Eye and Optical, 520 Wilson Avenue in Menominee, where they specialize in quality personalized care for you and your family.
January is Financial Wellness Month. Weight loss and physical fitness are common New Year's resolutions, but your finances could probably stand to be leaner as well. Dairy State Bank will post tips all month on Facebook and Twitter to help you get your finances in shape. You can also access a library of information anytime in our online education center. Visit dairystatebank.com and click on the Education Center under the Resources tab. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Colfax 53, Glenwood City 48, 3:53 left. Second half. Colfax has had the lead most of this game. Glenwood City trying to take it from them. Hovde fires down to Nichols. Nichols out to Schwartz. Scoop pass to Polkowski, back to Nichols. Nichols into Schwartz. Makes a move, goes up off the glass, and it doesn't fall in. A tough night shooting for Logan Schwartz tonight. Wow.
I think he's forgetting to take the lid off the rim when he goes up.
Brody Olson outside the arch to Harrington. Three-pointer miss. Polkowski has it stolen right away from him, and then Polkowski gets the foul. That's the third foul on Russell Polkowski, and that is the seventh foul for Colfax. That sends Brady Thompson to the line. And it was for 2 free throws because he missed that one. Aiden Fisher coming in now for Logan Schwartz. Thompson with the second free throw. That one bounces around and goes down. 4-point Colfax lead, 53-49 over the Hilltoppers of Glenwood City. Hovde fires down to Charbonneau, to Fisher. Fisher out to Charbonneau, drives in, stops, goes up, shot blocked. Harrington in the corner will drive the baseline, out to Olson, to Thompson. Back down to Reba. Back to Brody Olson, approaching 2.5 minutes left. Pass gets back to Olson. Trying to hit somebody over in the far corner. That was Thompson, and he wasn't there. Ball went flying out of bounds. It's going back to the Vikings. 53-49, Colfax leading Glenwood City. 2:22 left. Hovde, Polkowski. Back to Hovde. Had an open look for a three, decided not to take it, fired it to Orion Nichols. Nichols to an open Aiden Fisher. Fisher to Hovde. Charbonneau. Ball got tipped. Fisher got it. Fired back over to Nichols. Corner to Hovde. Alley-oop back on top. Too high. Was intercepted by Thompson, and he'll put in a layup. And it's now a 2-point Colfax lead. Minute 40 to go, second half. 53-51. Nichols to Charbonneau. Charbonneau going up. Hubdy to Fisher. Fisher driving in and draws a foul. That one's going to be called on Ben Klatt. That's Klatt's second foul, the fifth foul of the half for Glenwood City. That sends Aiden Fisher to the free throw line. Minute 21 left, and Glenwood City calls a full timeout. Colfax 53, Glenwood City 51. You're watching Viking Boys Basketball on NLWN 2.
If your estate isn't looking quite estate-like, let Midwest Environmental Consultants landscape your estate right up to snuff with installation of retaining walls, brick patios, foundation planting beds, and so much more. Then they'll keep it that way with their expert lawn care service. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your estate the showplace of the neighborhood.
NLWN2 is once again excited to be your host for Colfax High School Boys Basketball throughout the 2024 through 2025 season.
This is what we came here for.
Our next game will be on Tuesday, January 21st, when the Vikings play host to the Mondovi Buffaloes. Coverage begins with Viking pregame at 6:40 p.m. with live play-by-play to follow. That's live Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on Tuesday, January 21st on NLWN2.
1:21 left, second half. Colfax with a narrow 2-point lead over Glenwood City, 53-51. Aiden Fisher on the free throw line for the Vikings.
An important statistic right now is the Hilltoppers still have a couple fouls to give if they want to basically be sending the Vikings to the line.
First free throw, good. So Aiden Fisher puts the Vikings up by 3, make it 4. 1:21 remaining.
Fisher 4 for 5 from the line.
Olsen driving on Hubdy, heads toward the baseline, turnaround jumper. Russ Polkowski knocks it out of bounds.
That's the 5th block shot tonight by Polkowski.
Brody Reba is going to throw it in for the Hilltoppers. And that gets knocked out of bounds by Fisher. Colfax 55, Glenwood City 51. Alley-oop into Olsen. Olsen stops at the free throw line. Pass ends up back to Reba on the baseline. He'll come out with it. Reba to Harrington. Goes around a screen, gets it back to Reba, and he puts in the bucket. Colfax a 2-point lead, 44 seconds and counting. Hubdy. And a timeout called by Colfax. 34.5 seconds to go in regulation, 55-53. Colfax, you're watching Viking Boys Basketball on NLWN 2.
NLWN TV is once again excited to be your host for Colfax High School Girls Basketball throughout the 2024 through 2025 season. Our next Girls Vikings game will be on Friday, January 17th, when the Vikings take on the Durand, Arkansas Panthers from Colfax High School. Coverage begins with Viking pregame at 6:40 p.m. with live play-by-play to follow. That's live Colfax Viking Girls Basketball on Friday, January 17th on NLWN TV.
Yeah, Jay, you had to say in regulation, didn't you?
Yes, I did. So this game has been tight here, especially in the second half. Vikings have held on to a slim lead for a lot of it. And they've got one now. Inbounds throw goes into Aiden Fisher. Fisher is going to be the recipient of 1+1 on a blocking foul by Tyler Harrington of the Hilltoppers. That's his third foul. That's the sixth one. And since that's the sixth one, no free throws. In to Fisher to Nichols. Nichols doubled up to Hovde, and we're going to have a foul on Brody Olson. It's going to send Theo Hovde. That is his fourth foul, and that's the seventh one for Glenwood City. So that will now send Colfax to the free throw line. 23.9 seconds left. Colfax with a 2-point lead, 55-53. First free throw, good. 56-53. And Theo Hovde going to try to make this a two-possession game here in the waning seconds. Missed. Polkowski tips it. Goes out to Brody Olson. And we're going to have a blocking foul called on Tyler Harrington.
No, it's on
No,
Hovde.
it's on Hovde.
That's 4 on him.
Eighth foul for him. Harrington, 1+1. 17.2 seconds left, 56-53. Colfax. First one, good. We'll have Viking girls basketball tomorrow night on NLWN TV. They host Durand, Arkansas. Viking pregame starts things off at 6:40. Live play-by-play after that. Second one, missed. And fighting for the rebound, Aiden Fisher comes up with it. And we're going to the other end to shoot free throws as we had a foul on Caleb Klinger. That's his second. 13 seconds exactly remaining in the second half. 56-54. Colfax leading Glenwood City.
4 for 5 from the line.
That one bounces out. Tipped around. Coming up with a rebound. Brady Thompson. Thompson out to Brody Olson. Down in the far corner, Brody Reba. Back to Olson. 2.5 seconds. Up for two. Good. And we are tied. 56-56. We're going to overtime. That was not a prediction I made earlier. It was just, clarifying where we're at. We are tied in regulation at 56 all. We're going to do a 4-minute overtime to break this tie.
Well, that one's on me. That's what I get for saying that Fisher was 4 for 5 from the line before he had that free throw.
So Glenwood City in the second half outscored Colfax 35-25, if my math is correct. So it's 56 all now. Both teams are in the bonus.
A lot of that to be credited to that really cold shooting at the beginning of the second half. I think Glenwood City ran off about 8 straight points to start the half.
Yep. Okay.
This is the second time in the game that you will see an actual jump ball.
Yes. And I think it will be Polkowski for the Vikings and Olson for the Hilltoppers. Getting positioned here.
Olson at 6'7", Polkowski at 6'5".
Ball goes up. Here we go. Tip to Glenwood City. Goes to Tyler Harrington. Harrington on the baseline. Stop. Goes up. Blocked by Polkowski. Rebounded by Charbonneau. Theo Hovde across the timeline for the Vikings. Tied at 56, overtime. Fisher to Polkowski, trying to knock it back in on the assist and didn't go. Driving Olson. Olson makes the layup. Glenwood City scores the first points in the overtime. They lead 58-56, 3:24 left in overtime. Polkowski out to Fisher. Fisher drives in, goes up, good. We're tied again, 58 all.
24 points for Aiden Fisher.
Jay Fall, Rick Olson, Chris Olson with you from Colfax. 3 minutes left in overtime. Pass goes out to Klinger for Glenwood City. Klinger to Reba, out to Brody Olson. Olson goes up, and he's fouled on the way up by Charlie Charbonneau. Shaking out his left wrist. That's Charlie's first foul. Brody Olson on the line. First free throw, good. Glenwood City 59, Colfax 58.
He has not missed from the line yet tonight.
2:42 left in overtime, and that is still true. 60-58, Glenwood City, 21 points.
He's
for
now
Brody
got an
Olson.
even dozen free throws.
Hovde, Fisher. Fisher drives in, goes up, off the glass, and in, and is fouled. So Aiden Fisher on the line. Foul is going to be charged to Brady Thompson. Fisher to try to give Colfax the lead back. He does. 61-60, 2:28 left in overtime. 27 points for Aiden Fisher tonight. Brody Reba out to Brody Olson. Dumps it back out to Harrington.
He did a little carry of the ball.
Yeah. That's going to give that back to the Vikings, who lead by 1. Hovde guarded closely, goes up to Charbonneau. Charbonneau on the baseline, back into Fisher. Fisher left open, goes in, misses the shot, but Polkowski tips it in. 63-60, Colfax. 15 points for Russell. Brody Olson driving in, and we're going to have a player control foul. And that is his 5th. And Glenwood City coach Patrick Olson is trying to ask the official, how can that be?
23 points on the night for Brody Olson. You know, Jay, these two teams came into this game tonight tied for 4th place in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference. I guess this is the kind of game you'd expect to have.
Yep. Yeah, you sure would. Both teams working hard to break this tie. Right now, Colfax leads it in overtime, 63-60. Minute 38 to go. Ball fired down to Orion Nichols, to Hovde, out to Fisher. Fisher back to Hovde. Hovde nearly loses it, but gets it back. Now the ball is dumped out to Charbonneau. Charbonneau out to Fisher, to Hovde. Back to Nichols. Back to Hovde. So far, good ball handling. Polkowski going up, dishes it back to Fisher. Minute 8 left in overtime. Fisher to Hovde.
Vikings running a lot of clock.
Nichols. And ball knocked away from Charlie Charbonneau. Glenwood City comes up with it, and a timeout called by Glenwood City. 56.2 seconds remaining in overtime. Colfax 63, Glenwood City 60. Viking Boys Basketball on NLWN 2.
Even though it's winter, baseball is just around the corner. And the Northern Light Webcasting Network is excited to bring you Colfax High School Baseball, followed by Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball. So stick with us all spring and summer long for America's game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
56.2 seconds remaining in overtime. Colfax 63, Glenwood City 60. It was 31-21 Colfax at halftime. Glenwood City outscored Colfax 35-25 to tie it at 56 at the end of the second half. And now Colfax has a narrow 3-point lead. Glenwood City with the ball. It's Brody Reba. 3 points separates these two teams. Reba out to Harrington. Harrington back out. Reba for two, missed. And the ball is going to go off of Nichols, out of bounds to Glenwood City. 37.7 seconds remaining. Brody Reba throwing it in, heading to the back, Brady Thompson. Ball goes inbounds to Tyler Harrington. Bounces it back into Klatt. Klatt puts it up and in. 8 points for him, and we're going to have a foul. And that is going to be called, that's the fourth foul on Tyler Harrington. That is the 10th foul, so Orion Nichols gets 2 free throws. Colfax 63, Glenwood City 62. Bounces around a lot and drops. 64-62 Colfax. These two teams tied for fourth. And the Dunn-St. Croix coming in for tonight. That shot missed, but it's rebounded by Russell Polkowski. And we're going to have a foul called on Brady Thompson reaching in on Polkowski. That is his fourth foul. Double bonus for Colfax. Glenwood City will have it on the next Colfax foul. Polkowski, first shot, good. 65-62 Colfax. 22.3 seconds to go in the second half. Or in the overtime, sorry.
Polkowski, a 62% free throw shooter.
And now puts Colfax up by 4. Glenwood City wants a timeout. 22.3 seconds in overtime. Colfax 66, Glenwood City 62. You're watching Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on NLWN 2.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
.3 seconds remains in overtime. Colfax 66, Glenwood City 62 in Dunn-St. Croix Conference Boys Basketball. Very shortly going to break this tie for fourth place in the conference. Ball rolled out, picked up by Reba. Reba outside the three-point arch into Brady Thompson. And Polkowski going in. Ball gets loose on the floor. And Glenwood City calls another timeout. 8.3 seconds left. Score still 66-62. Colfax leading Glenwood City. You're watching Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on NLWN 2.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Smart, 8.3 seconds left in overtime. Colfax a 4-point lead. Glenwood City with the ball on the side. Ball thrown in the corner to Thompson. Inside to Klinger, hits the side of the backboard. And we have another foul. That one's going to be on Ben Klatt of the Hilltoppers. That's his third. And that is going to send Orion Nichols to the free throw line. 3.1 seconds remain. In overtime, Colfax 66. Now 67. Glenwood City 62. Second free throw good as well. Glenwood City down by 2 3-pointers. From half court, it goes up, hits the back iron. No good, and Colfax survives to break the tie in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference for 4th place. The final score in overtime, Colfax 68, Glenwood City 62. Stay tuned for our post-game show that's coming your way next. You're watching Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on NLWN 2.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
You have been tuned to Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2. This copyrighted production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and Colfax High School is intended for the enjoyment of the viewing and listening audience. Any broadcast, rebroadcast, or reproduction in part or in whole in any form without the express written consent of the Northern Light Webcasting Network, LLC, and Colfax High School is prohibited. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Postgame with a look back at today's game.
In November of 2018, our daughter Jana passed away. The outpouring of support was unbelievable. Support that we received inspired us to start a foundation called the Jana Kelly Memorial Foundation. And through that foundation,
we've given back in a lot of different ways, through projects, through different other charities that we've supported. We like to help Humane Association, and the Ronald McDonald House is something that's very near and dear to us. We've also recently, this last year, we actually built a tiny house. It's really exciting to be able to give back in different ways.
to learn more or to help financially, would find us on Facebook or www.janakelly.com.
Time now for Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Boys game. And now, Viking Postgame.
Welcome back to Colfax. In overtime, the Colfax Vikings break the tie for fourth place in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference with a 68-62 win over the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. It was 31-21 after the first half. Glenwood City then outscored Colfax 35-25 in the second half to achieve a 56-all tie, and then 8-6 in regulation. Colfax ends up with a win, 68-62. Vikings now 3-2 in the conference. They are 5-7 on the year, while Glenwood City is 2-3 in the conference, and they are 5-5 on the year. Rick, let's take a look at the numbers quick.
Sure thing. For the Vikings, leading the way is Aiden Fisher. He had 10 in the first half, 17 in the second half, and that gave him 27 points. He was followed by Russell Pekowski, who had 6 in the first half, 11 in the second half for 17 points. Then came Orion Nichols. Nichols had 9 in the first half, 3 more in the second half for 12 points. Charlie Charbonneau had 4 in the first half, 5 in the second half for 9 points. And Theo Hovde had 2 in the first half, 1 in the second half for 3 points. For the Glenwood City Hilltoppers, it was Brody Olson had 6 points in the first half, but he had 14 in the second half for 20 points. Brady Thompson had 5 points in the first half. He had 9 points in the second half for 14. Tyler Harrington had 2 points in the first half. He had 9 in the second half. He became very effective there for 11 points. 8 points were put in by Ben Cladd. He had 4 in each half. And Brody Reba had 4 in the first half, 2 in the second half for 6. And that all adds up to a score of 68-62 Vikings over the Hilltoppers.
Nick Height, the Colfax head coach, joining me. And, boy, what a difference a game makes.
Yeah, that was a fun one. I'm not going to sleep tonight, I'll tell you that. I thought the first half we battled pretty well. They kind of punched us in the mouth the first 5 minutes of that second half, but our resilience, we kind of came back. They made a buzzer beater to send it into overtime, and I think we can go back. I think a lot of kids can say that down the stretch late in games, I think we can learn a ton from this game. So
you can just keep going over and get some things tuned up. Tough defense tonight.
Yeah, it was a great scout. Obviously fun one for Coach Kittleson. I thought we did our scouting report really well. I thought we did a great job on Olson and Harrington. They got their points at times, but I thought everyone kind of stepped up. It was a total team effort.
Yeah, and as you had mentioned, some struggles, in the second half and other places as far as shooting goes, but the team remained resilient and kept fighting.
100%. I thought Charlie played a heck of a game tonight for us, so that was fun to watch him kind of, come out of his shell a little bit. Aiden's and one was really big in overtime, and then we kind of made free throws towards the end. Russell's offensive rebound there on the free throw was huge. The charge there on Olson for his 5th foul. I'm really proud of our guys, so it's fun, but, kind of back to work next week, a really important Mondovi game, and then Durand on Friday. So,
all right. Well, yeah, you can relish in this one and then back to it.
Back at it, yeah, absolutely.
Right. So, Nick, thanks for talking with us. Congratulations. Awesome game. Nick Height, head coach of the Colfax Vikings, as the Vikings move up to 3-2 in the conference and 5-7 overall with a 68-62 overtime win. So,
and Jay, Coach Height was just talking about how they did a pretty good job on Harrington and Olson. I'm looking at Olson's numbers, and yes, Olson got 20 points, but when you figure that 12 of those 20 points, he went 12 for 12 from the free throw line. That means they held him to 8 points from the floor, and that's a pretty good job against Brody Olson.
Yeah, who is looks to be all everything for them. The playing point guard, and also supplement and things in the middle. So a great effort tonight by the Viking boys, and we will be back with them Tuesday night. Mondovi comes here, and you can best way to do it if you can is come and see it in person. Otherwise, we'll have it here on NLWN2, Viking pregame at 6:40, followed by live play-by-play. The girls tomorrow night host Durand, Arkansas in a conference game, and come out for that one as well. Otherwise, again, Viking pregame 6:40, followed by live play-by-play on NLWN
and that one's a
TV.
really big one. That's a battle for second place in the conference.
So, yeah, be here in person or tune in for that one. So we appreciate you joining us tonight. Tonight's Colfax High School basketball game brought to you by Dairy State Bank, where they're banking on relationships. Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for Western Wisconsin. Anderson Bridges, who have been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. Slayton's Technology, IT provider for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Menominee Eye and Optical with quality, personalized care for you and your family. C&K Construction, concrete experts for the Chippewa Valley. And Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Comfort food the way Mom used to make it. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors by doing some business with them soon. They bring you Colfax Viking basketball here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network. For our camera operator Chris Olson and executive producer and color man Rick Olson, I'm Jay Fall. Thanks a lot for joining us. Good night.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Boys game. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.